Hello YouTube. So it's 5:08 p.m. Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. Got my rent handled at Pack and Store. It just always seems like it's one thing or another with their computer system that handles everything there. By the way, did I say the date and time? It's at 5:08 p.m. Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. So I think I did. God, my short-term memory is bad. They just so much trouble with their. They love the manager to death. She tries so hard to work with what she has, but the one time I met the owner and he was there while I forget what it was I was trying to handle. But I absolutely felt disrespected by him as a customer. He didn't acknowledge me whatsoever. I said something kind of lighthearted to him, and he just kind of gave me a look and ignored me, which is incredibly fucking rude. Not a good way to treat your actual paying customers, especially considering, I give that place like $240 a month, and at that time it was closer to $280 a month. And the whole time he just seemed to be just really talking down to the manager, which is just, that's not a way for a business owner to treat their business management. It amazes me she stays there and puts up with it. I'm grateful she does. But U-Store, I probably said Pack and Store because this was Pack and Store forever. So just so many issues with their computer and stuff. It took way longer for me going in with 3 money orders, one for each individual unit, in the exact dollar and cent amount of what was needed. That transaction took a painfully long time. And to me, like, the fact that isn't the more streamlined for the customer just really shows that the ownership of that business just doesn't respect their customers' time. That's time I don't get back. That's time that could result in me missing my next bus, getting to work on time, so on and so forth. And as if that wasn't annoying enough, I've got a place in my storage unit where I've been keeping the receipts just to be sort of organized. And so I walked to the gate, and I've got 2 different gate codes. And that's another thing, like, just speaking of how dysfunctional their computer system is. It's just thinking, the manager has asked me several times, hey, could you leave a Google review? I like you too much to do that to you. Because I'll be honest, being honest right now. They even with the price increases, they do still have the best deal around from what I've seen in storage, and their price increases don't seem to be as harsh as their competitors' price increases. So, but definitely a lot of just policies and procedures that just are not customer friendly. I don't. For a tenant who's been there longer than the ownership, I've been there, I want to say 12 years, 11 years, over a decade at least. Don't feel that valued. Been watching my rents go up, watching discounts. Well, there was a discount that I had that was taken away by the previous ownership, so I can't really hold that against the current ownership, but I don't know if I can even complain about that guy blocking the sidewalk. The way the sidewalk's designed right there by the City of Phoenix, I think it was intended for me to walk behind him. I'd love to get an explanation of why the newer curbs, like these are the older style Phoenix curbs, and that was a newer style Phoenix curb. And I'd like to know what the thought process is behind the redesign of the new Phoenix curbs, and why they went from a design that was pretty average to one that's really not friendly to pedestrians, especially pedestrians that happen to be in wheelchairs or use walkers or whatever. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. Hard for me to ignore pedestrian life problems as a pedestrian. So anyway, back to U-Store. So my codes didn't work to let me in. You know, what the hell is up with that? I've never seen a storage place that, generally speaking, even if you're late, there's generally a grace period. A grace period for not getting charged a late fee in making your rent. And then a grace period after that when you could pay your rent and still have a late fee where you still have access to your stuff. Now those grace periods vary from place to place. 3 days, I don't know, it doesn't seem overly harsh, but it's not overly kind either. But the fact that I apparently was already locked out of my storage, which is something I was unaware of, not cool. And the fact that I was still locked out of my storage after I made the payment, yeah, y'all have a really fucking dysfunctional system. Fix it. God damn. I mean, credit where it's due. The manager's a sweetheart. She let me in. But, I mean, she shouldn't have had to. That shit should just work. You know, she has to do so much extra shit just because the ownership of that place is so just incompetent and apparently incapable of getting some kind of system that works. And just to put it in perspective, when I started there into the original ownership, when it was Packing Store, and when I got my storage unit there, my daughter Lily's mom was the manager there. Everything was done good, the old-fashioned way. On paper, handwritten everything, paper ledger, paper receipts, like handwritten, receipt book type paper receipts. Everything, just photocopied forms. And yet somehow it was significantly faster and more efficient. Now, granted, it didn't have a security gate at that time. It did have a security gate, but it wasn't like it is now where you have to use a code to get in. Back then it was it opened at a specific time and it closed at a specific time. And I will say that is an improvement. I'll give the new ownership credit for that. But this whole thing of I'm locked out of my unit on the 3rd because my rent was due on the 1st, and after I've paid for my unit, I still can't get in without bothering the manager. At a time she's already supposed to be closed, but it's that time because it took her, like 15 minutes to process a payment. When the payment was in exact change in money orders, man, ownership of that place just needs to get with the times. It's ridiculous. Speaking of storage, I've been thinking about looking into some other storage for my stuff. I'm not really ready to get rid of everything I own, but I'm having some thoughts about maybe losing my apartment, deliberately losing my apartment. My rent is due and my lease renews. You wait. My lease renews in May, and I saw my landlord this morning, and it occurred to me as I was walking home from there that I really should have asked him, hey, what's my rent going to be in May? Because that'd be something good to know. I just, and it's not just them, it's everybody in this market. The Phoenix market is just gone insane for rent costs. In fact, I think percentage-wise, it's been I think it's had the highest cost of living increase of any major American city. I would say it's gone up like 26% in the last 2 years. When I first got my apartment, my rent was about $650 a month. Now, granted, I was on some rental assistance, made it a whole lot less. But if I was paying for my full rent like I am now, it would have been about $650 a month ish. It's currently $925, which, for what I'm getting in the neighborhood I live in, is a fabulous deal. No complaints there. It's. I mean, I know so many people paying so much more for so much less. But I fully expect it to go up to like $1,200 or something thereabouts, and that's going to be a struggle. It's really going to be a struggle, especially if I boot the platonic girlfriend, platonic roommate who masquerades as my girlfriend, which I really want to do. Yeah, I don't know that there's any place less. It's a thing. Like I don't know that I'm gonna find a better place, and certainly I can't afford to move. But I think I do need to really start looking into putting a lot of my belongings in storage, so I don't find myself down to the wire of. And I'm not with Priscilla living there. I'm not really able to enjoy my belongings there anyway. It's not like I'd like to. So I don't know. Something I'm thinking about. So I'm here. I'm waiting for the 32. I'm going to try to make it to my mechanics. I keep forgetting I'm recording with my Samsung. So the problem with the screen freaking out, it does seem to be kind of heat related. Like it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does happen, it seems like it's because I'm either charging and using the phone excessively, so I've got it caused it to get hotter, or because I'm shooting video like this in the daytime in the sun. I mean, like video started yesterday. First video I did yesterday, screen freak out. First video I did today, screen freak out. I'm thinking it's something literally as simple as just a poorly seated ribbon cable on the new screen. I'm not going back to the shop to put the screen in. I feel like they fucked my battery and are just generally inept. I finally heard back from, speaking of cell phone repair, I finally heard back from cell phone Jesus, Jeff. Oh, cool. Bus will be here soon. It's 5:21 p.m. It says it's supposed to 32 is supposed to show up at 5:29, and it is currently about 32nd in McDowell. So very nice. Trying to get to my mechanics. He was like, well, just call him. Just call him. It's calling him is frustrating. I'm so upset about the whole scenario that I don't feel like I can even really have a civil conversation with him on the phone. So there's that. And it just seems like when I call, he doesn't answer. At least he doesn't answer enough that it just it soured me on calling him. And I should probably point out that I have an extreme aversion to calling people on the phone. Always have. So there's that. So yeah, part of it's me. It is. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to try to get there. Sometimes he stays open until 6. Sometimes he stays open a little later. Sometimes he shuts it down at 5. I've seen him shut it down as early as 4:30 before. Route 32 is going to pick me up at, Washington and 38th Street. So it's going to pick me up at 5:29. And we'll get to his shop at 5:38. So I'm going to get there before 6. So crossing my fingers that I'm able to make some progress with my mechanic. And my friend April did definitely make a point that, I have some value in those 2 CRXs that are sitting there. And maybe it'd be a good idea to sell one, as well as sell some of my other broken down vehicles, even if I only get shit. At this point, it'd just be, if I get $500 for my Honda Civic, that would be $500. Right now, I just have a Civic that's not drivable, that's just taking up Rob's space. So, yeah, I do need to just, instead of just waiting for that situation to resolve itself, I need to take that bull by the horns. But I'm not getting that done over the phone. I'm definitely going there. Oh, cool! Somebody riding an electric scooter. I can't tell what kind of scooter it is, or if it's a privately owned one or a rental. I think it's got to be privately owned. only rental service that operates in this general area is Bird, and Birds will disable on this side of 48th Street. So I really need to concentrate on getting myself another scooter as well. I mean, it was around Thanksgiving that I last had my 9-watt going, and I'm sure it's just a simple short between the what you call it, the God, maybe I should work on that this weekend. Kind of just wanting to work on finding a woman that does actually want to have bedroom fun, but might be more constructive to handle that scooter. Because if I get that working, go out, maybe find myself a promiscuous woman. But wow, this is the second time I've had this happen recently, where I'm sitting and actively waiting for the bus and the cleaning crew shows up. You here to hose it down? That's rough when my bus is coming soon. Oops, I just blocked the screen. I appreciate that the city of Phoenix cleans these and stuff, but to do it while people are waiting for the bus is an extreme inconvenience for people that are waiting for the bus. Had it happen to me the other day while I was waiting for so I'm not sure if I got around to mention it. I keep trying to mention it and then I don't. Or maybe I did. I took VTO and went home early on Monday night and from Amazon. Rode the 17 down McDowell the entire way, and it's shortly before the bus showed up, one of these trucks showed up to clean the bus stop, which is a good thing, and he power washed it. He did not power dry it, so after he did that, I couldn't sit down because the bus stop was soaked, and it was chilly out, not cool, and the other morning, while I was waiting for that bus as well. Apparently, they had just recently washed the bus stop, power washed it, but didn't make any effort to dry it. Actually, you know what? That was Wednesday morning when I went to PLS to get my rent for my. After the video where I went to Speedy Burrito, I walked north from Speedy Burrito up 40th Street to around Planet Fitness and over to PLS to get my money orders for my storage. Didn't have enough money to get the ones for my residential rent, unfortunately, because Priscilla hadn't kicked down any cash towards it yet, and I didn't withdraw enough from my own money to pay all of it. Anyway, when I left PLS, I realized that, hey, the bus must be along shortly. I can actually take the bus. And, okay, this is my bus right here. I hope they're able to see me. Stop. Yeah, good. Wow, this is a hostile environment. Are you not stopping? What the hell? Oh, this is ridiculous. Yeah, these are the things that need fixed, Valley Metro. Come on.